I've talked about this before and I will talk about it again, but there's a realistic opportunity for Disney to mess up Deadpool 3. So let's talk about this. Many of you know Marvel Studios, up until halfway into Iron Man 2, was still Marvel Studios. Disney did not own them. It was about halfway into the production of that Disney bought them, and then Disney came in and was like, look, what you doing over there? Yeah? Take out all that stuff. Put in more action. Scratch that. Put in more action. Scratch that too. More action. Add in more of this. And then Iron Man 2 ended up being a far cry from what the first one was. And Disney has had a tendency to try to do this with a couple more movies. Thor: The Dark World, the same thing. Age of Ultron suffered the same thing. Guardians 2 a little bit. So they seem to have a very weird stance. Sometimes they don't want to interfere at all, but some movies they come in and go, just put our hand in there and sort of make a lesser sequel, right? And I think Deadpool 3, from what we're hearing, that's going to have a little bit of a later start production, and that it could fall right on that line where it starts production right as Disney acquires Fox, I think is worrying a lot of people. And I can get exactly what you're saying, if Disney comes in there and suddenly they're starting to shoot Deadpool 3 and they're like 2 weeks into it, Disney buys Fox, there's a really good chance, and a precedent that's already been said, that they could step in there and go, we don't like some of these elements, replace them. This could happen. And realistically probably will happen because Disney might not want or even agree with everything that's in there, because as we know, before the film scripts or anything ever finished, people from Marvel Studios and Marvel look at them. They have a hand into everything that's Marvel. They can't do much to change what's going to happen, but Kevin Feige could realistically go in there and look at Deadpool 3 and go, take some notes and then bring it back to Disney, and when it's acquired, they could go, we're going to give you these notes and you have to do it because we now own you. And that's a very realistic possibility and a problem. Now, am I saying it's going to happen? Not necessarily, but history does have a tendency to repeat itself. So you have to really think of it that way. And we don't really know what Disney's going to do with Deadpool. We know they're going to keep it around, but what's the extent of what they want to do with it? Because I think that's the big question. Do you keep it the way it is? Or do you try to modify it to be more in your style? Because let's be real, Disney does not have a Deadpool style. So that's the big question.